And we're back. And while I was away, something happened that I should have probably talked about from the very beginning, and that Factorio 2.0 has been released. That was in late October, I believe, and I've looked at the tutorial in 2.0 up to this point, and there's a few differences that I'd like to talk about. But the demo, which is what we're playing here, is still 1.1. So in the full game, if you have the full game, it's been updated to 2.0, and there's some differences. The first of which has to do with the thing we talked about, the water feature. So the water feature, they've changed the entrance to it and made it into a more swampy area, I believe, so more people would be likely to find it. It's kind of a fine balance, I think, for them, in that they want to challenge people to look around and discover things, but they don't want to make it so difficult that people miss it, and we'll look at that. And the second thing that happened is super interesting to me, in that it's something that we talked about already from this map, and we've accomplished. In that what they told us to do, you can bring up this window, these spiders won't give up, maybe we should go kill them at the source. That would stop them for good. So they told us that's what they wanted us to do, and we did that. So we're completely free now, and we're under no pressure. I also linked to some forum posts talking about new players were upset because these spiders just become increasingly overwhelming, and what they want you to do is go kill them, and that takes care of it. And the idea is that that's the best way, or the best? Well, yes, it is the best way to play the game, is go kill the nests, as long as you keep up with your expansion. And I might go look at that later at some point, because in the next video I'd like to talk about the complexity, at least the complexity as I see this game. And I suppose just to review, since it's been a long time, the theme behind these videos is not the Factorio game, which is kind of why I didn't talk about 2.0, because the game really isn't important. The theme is what I called the trajectory of ignorance. And I suppose to some people that might sound bad, like I'm saying something bad. But I also said sort of my meaning. That was that it isn't interesting what a person knows. The most interesting thing is what a person doesn't know. And also, I guess I'm going to quote Bob Dylan, because he sort of said the same thing. When you're born, for the first 2 or 3 years of life, your trajectory of ignorance or learning is like straight up. And then it gets tougher, I suppose, as you get older. I don't really know. And it flattens out. Maybe it even reverses itself for some people. I don't know that either. But that's kind of the idea that Bob Dylan expressed in It's All Right Mama, I think is the name of the song. And what he said was, those not busy being born are busy dying. And it expresses that same idea of, you want your trajectory, you want to try to keep it going forward, going upwards. You want to keep learning, keep expanding your mind. But it is a super tricky thing. And I think, I didn't need that, did I? I think Kierkegaard said, what did Kierkegaard say? He said, I hope I get this right, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. And it's sort of that same idea of, you know, it's it's impossible to know what you don't know, but that's the only thing that's really important is the things you don't know. But anyway, we have this to do, and I forgot the what happened is I started down this path and describing that they want us to go out and kill these, and that's we talked about this last time, I believe, and that a lot of players feel that this is wrong design and so forth and so on. They should be able to play it the way they want to play it, and that was related to the post. And somebody said they're unhappy. Well, lots of people say they're unhappy because of the way this ramps up and seem they can't keep from being killed. Where it's this sort of simple thing, you know, we're completely free and clear here. But what they have done is super interesting to me, and it's kind of shocking. It's counter to a lot of what they've done in 2.0, of what I've seen in 2.0. And they've here we have the repair pack, but in 2.0 they have removed this ability to repair. And so the people that are trying to keep up and ignore the advice of going out and killing the bugs, they're going to find it even more impossible, more infuriating, and more frustrating. And I'm also kind of surprised that in 2.0 they actually, very little of this has changed. And maybe it will. I don't know what they're planning. It's interesting that the demo version hasn't been updated. And I really, really expected them to come up with a new campaign for 2.0 and update all of this and change it. But that's neither here. Oh, and then there's another change that has to do with the next map. And we haven't talked about that, but it's very, very similar to removing the repair pack. It has the same kind of effect, but in a different paradigm. Oh, and here I am talking, and we said we wanted to keep our research going. And I should have also said that one of the things this game is so good about is technology screen opens when research is completed. So this game is super good about having all these options that you can customize the game to be what you want. So we could have just done that, and then it's not up to me to keep this going. As soon as this finishes, it will pop up. And that is another change that they've made in this version. This is just a single, we can just do one research at a time, where in the 2.0 tutorial you can queue up, several of these, and when one finishes, it'll start the next one. So you could have 5 things queued up, and sort of makes life easier. But I'm neutral on that. I don't care either way, really. And now I sort of forgot where we were, but we were talking about how these entities like this, the engines here and the radar had disappeared, and that's a difference from the previous maps that we have seen. And we didn't talk about what that meant or why it was. And I'm not going to talk about it here either. But when we get to the next map, I probably will. I'm not sure, but I don't have that plan either. But we probably will. Get this going. And then we have to get some of this happening. Do I have more of these? Mm-hmm. Oh, and I did queue this up before just so that I could review where we were. And it was kind of a disaster, as couldn't really grasp where we were, what we were supposed to, and there we go. It kicks off, but I believe we're sort of out of luck at this point, right? I don't know. We need green circuits, and I've been talking too much. We'll start on that. Maybe we can do that. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Cancel some of those, cancel some of those. That might be better. So where were we? We need transport belts. It's going to be important for us. And we made some of these. Okay, I'm out of those, so should I let that? I should let that go. We have none of these. What the heck? Give me all of those. Yeah, but we can come down here and do some more with this. There. Whoops. How are we doing here? I think, yeah, we're done here. We can kill this. And like I said, this is supposed to be all planned, and I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. Let's see. I don't know what's the best thing here. I'll just do this. Okay, so that should get us to there. We're getting close. We're narrowing down on it. So how are we doing with... we're doing really good there. Okay. I don't know if this is the best way to go. But... oh, it isn't the best way. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We need more. Okay. I'm stumped. I need to move quicker here. I'm falling behind. Whoops. Okay, double whoops. Triple whoops. Okay, start over. Try to hit your marks. And we can just pick these up. That's super handy. Kind of a useful thing to know as well. Okay. Should have had some of those going. I'm going to need more than that, so I'll grab some resources here. Maybe some of these, some of this. I need more steel. I need to get this going first. Everything needs to be done. sort of what you run into in the real game, I suppose. Well, at least what I run into. So you're always... something is always going on. And I sort of know I want to do that as well, so might as well do that now. Now we're lacking steel, so I have to try to get that on the go. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably good. How's that? Seems fine. Yeah, it'll work for a while. Should have done that a long time ago. Not sure where's the best place to start these. I think I'm short as well, which is fine. That's actually probably going to work out pretty well. Oops. Wow. Whoops. Okay, that should get me some steel. Not steel. That should get me some iron plates. Oops. And in 2.0, there's a lot of things like sounds and things that have changed. And I didn't play a game of 2.0, but nothing popped out at me as being like crazy significant so far. Although I sort of knew a lot of the things. One of the things that I sort of noticed was that there's the things, I guess I look at this and it gives me the time and the ingredients and everything, and I sort of count on my fingers and try to work out the ratios of those times and ingredients, and so that I can balance the machines, so I don't have too many or too few. And when we talk about complications, this is another thing that I mentioned about I'm not direct feeding these. And this 3-to-2 ratio that's supposed to be the golden rule. And, I said, well, I just commented that I'm not doing it. And, sorry, never mind. We'll talk about it later, hopefully. I forgot what I was trying to do here. Our research died. Oh, because I let it, right? That's dumb. Oh, I don't want that. So what happens, because you can't queue these, if I start this, it kills that. I don't know. Let's just do this for now. I need engines. How are we doing over here? We need more labs. Potentially. Whoa. Aim. Since I'm here, I don't have another assembly machine, and I'm going to need a bunch. So I have steel. Now we pop open now. We can do this guy. And we should be ready for engines, right? Okay. Well, that'll work, I think, one way or the other. Maybe not. Ooh. Just click. One thing that's kind of useful, or I don't know if it's useful, but anyway, we only need 8 of these engines, so instead of putting it into a box, you can just load it onto a belt, because it would be just as easy to put it into a box, but sometimes it's just a hassle to put it in a box. And let's see. This is a more knowledge, pre-knowledge, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to need more of these guys, which is fine. I can get them started for now. This is another criticism that people have about this, is this the busy work, and that I already know that people are upset because you need to have these turrets built. But the thing is, I guess, sort of the thing. You know, they sort of plan on you probably having built up a lot of resources into military at this point. I could go with some more mining here. Mm-hmm. So they might expect you to have a lot more of this stuff. I mean, I think we're supposed to have 200 ammunition, and we already had way more than 200. So we already had that, but we didn't build a lot of turrets because we already used the turrets and we sort of knew we didn't want to let them die. But if a person were not having repair packs, that balance would surely shift. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna need more mining. And are we hitting on all cylinders? These are all kicking off. And we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I'm back to this problem. Actually, I'm probably not. I'm probably fine. I think I have. Yeah, I overbuilt there. So these are all free now, so I didn't need to build all those, but I did anyway. So still everything's good. Now we can go back to just catching those. And what was I doing? I was going for more red. Okay, so we have steel, we have copper, and I knew that normally I would just worry about having the steel, the gears, and the green circuits, but I knew that I needed copper for these turrets. Again, a lot of pre-knowledge is happening here. And you know the coils there, the cables are just there because there's no reason for me to remove them. I don't know how we're doing here. We might already have what we need. How many is that? I can't count that. I don't care. Just, it's free for now. Sort of free. And one of the things that's really handy, like I can have these already made circuits and inserters and transport belts. They're just laying here, but a lot of people build what they call a mall. It's really handy, so they'll build they'll just build up the basic blocks, and I wouldn't normally build the red inserters because if I have the gears and the yellow inserters, it's easy to build those on the fly, but these angle pipes are super useful to be able to build those. I'm still talking when I should be. All right. We are on our way. And I think with that, we should be able to... do some more smelting. Whoops. It's probably good enough for now. Gee whiz. Oh well. See how this goes. Power me up, please. So, I think we're doing really well here. Sort of slow on the... we're running out of reds, apparently. Well, we can pick up some reds here. Sort of. Well, that would help if I actually set the recipe. Never mind. Never mind. These things happen. I think we're doing really good. For sure we have. I actually don't know how many we need, but that must be... yeah, that seems to be way more than we need. At this point, I think we just can start gathering stuff for our exit strategy. Our power is still looking good. We possibly could use some more coal. Should we do that or not? I don't have a miner, so we won't for now. Let's see, what else can we do? Oh, we could use some more coal for sure. They sure sound like they're straining. I suppose they are getting up there towards the top end, but we still have a good bit of headroom. We have a good flow of ore now, so we can expand this again. We don't need to. Our car is ready. And then they say build a car, and this is one of the things we talked about. I think at the very first level we talked about, one of these screens was talked about craft and build. And here they're saying build a car, and so we have crafted a car, but we haven't built a car, because building means placing on the ground. So when we place this on the ground, it will be built. And you see that disappears. And the reason that's important is because in the achievements, which we can't get the achievements here, but in the achievements, a lot of them say, complete a game without building any laser turrets, or complete a game without building any solar panels, and people get confused about that because they need to craft solar panels to build a satellite, and so they get confused about building, the difference between building and crafting. They're not saying you can't craft them to complete your satellite. They're saying you can't build them, which is place them on the ground. And they would like us to go for a joyride, so we shall do that. And one of the things that they supposedly did in 2.0 was improve the driving of the car, but I didn't see any improvement in it. So I don't know what the improvement was supposed to be. I know there's a mod that sounds really good for it, but they which locks the car in sort of a set of directions so you can drag things really nicely, like on a train where you can drag poles and maintain a bunch of straight lines. But they didn't do that, so I'm not sure what they did. So I need those magazines and some steel plates. That's surely enough, it is. And then one of the interesting things about this tip screen here, this is going back in history again. One of the interesting things about this tip screen is in the very first tutorial that I played, these tips, they weren't like this. Like you would get so far in the game and then it would pop up. It would pop them up and open them. You didn't have to do it yourself, and you had to go through them. And it seems like the tips were more. There were more of them, and they were a lot more detailed. But for sure, we're at the end of this. So if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching.